This is going to be the motor board removal for R3 or R3X. I've already removed the jacket so we can see what we're doing here. First thing you're going to do is pull out this battery. Then you're going to hit the power button one time to discharge the unit. Listen for the beep. Then I can just turn it back off. I'm going to remove these 8 perimeter screws here. Tools needed is going to be a Phillips screw gun, Phillips screwdriver, needle nose pliers, possibly some colored Sharpies here. Be gentle. We're going to roll this over. Be gentle with this. When you roll it over, first thing we're going to do is remove this camber cable here. Remove the tape. You're going to flip this little black piece up right here and then pull out the camber cable. So it's at this point right here where I can take a picture of all the connections, and then I can start marking them because I'm going to be pulling these wires out. First one to do is mark this one down here, you take this and you can set this aside. The next one I'm going to do is start marking these other ones I'm going to pull off here. Take your needle nose pliers to loosen this antenna wire. Next, we're going to remove these motor wires right here. They're color coordinated. You're going to squeeze this together to get this piece out, this plug out of here. Squeeze that and then wiggle that off there. Kind of work my way down here. We're going to remove the positive and negative here. When you go to install this back together, there's marks on here, negative and positive, here on the board. Don't mix those up. Remove the other set of motor wires. Squeeze that. Now we're removing these 5 screws that are holding this in there. It's your Phillips screwdriver here. Okay, now we're going to install the new board. So what I'm doing is also I'm going to line up and look at where these marks are compared to the marks that I already laid out on the connectors here. First, we're going to mount it in there with the screws. And I leave them loose until I've got them all in there. Then I go back and make sure that they're all tightened down. If I have to, I'll reference the marks I made on here to kind of line up what I got going on in here. If that doesn't work, then I use my picture as a reference. Motor wires are color coordinated here. We don't want any bare metal in here showing, so we're going to put this rubber back up over top there where it's supposed to go. I match up my black to the negative and red to the positive. I'm going to start this screw, but I'm not going to tighten it down until I put this other wire, and it'll slip underneath there. Finish tightening down. Put this underneath that connection right there, underneath that screw. And I kind of tug on them to make sure that they're in there. The antenna wire back on. Take your needle nose pliers, tighten it down just a little bit. Camera cable, and kind of flatten it out a little bit. When you push this in there, it's going to bottom out. Just square up in there I can feel it in there, and I just press down that little black piece right there, and that'll hold that in there. Take your tape. We're going to put our 8 screws back on here. I leave them loose, the way I can line up all the screw holes. Now we're going to tighten them all up, but I want to make sure that I'm not over tightening here. I just want this flush to keep this rubber gasket sealed here. That's it.